It's been about a month now that I haven't put out a video, but I am back with y'all for this new season that is gonna be happening starting just a couple days from now. We already saw the Super Copa, Super Copa between Tottenham and PSG, and that was a crazy surprise. But now the real top of the top, the creme de la creme is gonna be starting. The top four leagues in the world, and I'm gonna be bringing y'all my prediction. Now, I know it's been 2 months late, but that I haven't done my reaction to my prediction last year, but trust me, it will be coming soon. Just wait on that. Okay, just wait on that. Without any further ado, let's go ahead and start from best league. From the worst league. Well, from the worst of the top four leagues to the best of the top four leagues. And I positioned this league to be the Bundesliga. So let's go ahead and start with the Bundesliga. All right, so I'll be going over the top four for two other leagues and then the top five for the other two leagues. So let's go ahead and start with the Bundesliga. And for first place, no surprise here, I had Bayern Munich. Munich had a poor playing style, poor season last season, and they still absolutely ran past anybody in the Bundesliga, man. If this doesn't show dominance, I don't know what is. These guys are even better than they were last season. They're a lot more composed. They look a lot better as seen by the Club World Cup. And I have no problem in saying that company is a lot better of a manager than he was last season. And Luis Diaz, the great addition into the team, they're going to finish first place. There is no debate on that. And this is where it gets interesting. The bottom three more places that are going to be taken up by one of these German teams. In second place, I have Borussia Dortmund. I felt like they had a very horrendously bad start to the season last season, and then it took quite a while for them to stabilize the ship. But they actually finished quite strong. I believe they lost two of their last 10 Bundesliga games, which is quite a good record coming into this new season. And Borussia Dortmund, they're always there. They're always in the Champions League somehow. I believe they squeezed in once again into the Champions League for this season. So it's kind of like they're bound to be back into the Champions League. Maybe not in second place, but they'll be around there. And in third place, I have Eintracht Frankfurt. A lot of people put him actually being in second place, being a more competitor for a league. But they lost Ekatike. They lost quite a bit of their players, but their defense is it stayed the same. Their midfield, as far as I can tell, they didn't take anybody from their midfield. It's mainly their attack that they lost. They lost a bit of firepower. They lost a bit of players. So I think they won't be second place, up there. But I think a third place is a very respectable spot for them. Now, we do got to keep in mind they're going to be going into the Champions League, and we saw how hard Stuttgart got hit by becoming a team into the Champions League. So who knows, man? Maybe Frankfurt doesn't have the players to keep up with the Bundesliga and the Champions League, similar to how Stuttgart happened. And maybe Stuttgart, who actually I think they kept pretty much their whole squad from last season, maybe they're going to be able to come back and position themselves into these top fours. But yeah, my fourth pick is going to be Bayer Leverkusen, man. Erik Ten Hag took over and Granit Xhaka just took a plane and left to Southampton. He rather that, or who was it? I think it was the newly promoted team. Sunderland, I believe. But I don't think Ten Hag has what it takes to bring this team back to being like a stable second place. And you know what? A fourth place finish is not bad for a Leverkusen side who just got absolutely destroyed by every single person in the market, taking their best defender, their best midfielder. They still have some good players. I believe they still have Boniface. They still have the Tapasoda. They still have quality players. The question is the manager good enough to keep on building this Bayer Leverkusen squad? And ultimately, I don't think he's the man. But yeah, that's gonna be my Bundesliga top four. It would be just to recap: Bayern Munich, Dortmund on second, Frankfurt, debatable on third. Also debatable Leverkusen on fourth. Now let's go on to our second league, Serie A. You know what? I probably would have put it over La Liga, but I just put it in as the third best league. Maybe in the quality of the teams, they're not as good as, for example, a Real Madrid or Barcelona or even Atletico Madrid. But just pure watchability, Serie A looks absolutely incredible. The storylines, the games, the everything, the atmosphere that they bring is absolutely incredible. And we saw that, McTominay, that incredible goal, that incredible season that he made, and Napoli winning the Scudetto, played horrendous football, but they won it in a very dramatic set of events. But anyways, too much yapping. Let's go ahead and start with my first place pick, which I have Inter Milan, who, yes, they're in on a rebuild. They looked horrendous, too old. They lost their manager Inzaghi, who I think was the main reason as to why these guys were even competing in the Champions League. But the quality is still there. The quality that Inter Milan has, I think it's unrivaled. It's better than Napoli's. It's better than Juventus right now. Juventus, great talents, but I think they're too raw right now. It's I truly think they're the best squad in Serie A. So I have them finishing in first place, and in second I have Napoli. I think Napoli are gonna build on what they already had with Conte, and hopefully they're able to make good signings. They made the Bruyne signing. I'm not sure who else they're gonna bring in. They haven't lost many players. They honestly look pretty darn good. No, they don't look pretty darn good, but they won the Scudetto, so it's kind of proven that these guys have what it takes to win it. But I don't see them beating Inter Milan once again, especially having to play both in the Champions League and the Serie A. I don't think they have the squad to play in both. But in third place, I have this was very tough, very difficult league to predict. Honestly, Inter, for all I know, could end up not becoming the champion once again. But I have third place in Roma. Roma, who started the season also very similar to Dortmund, really bad. I mean, these guys were struggling hard, and then I forgot what the manager that came in's name. He's incredibly good, and he has once again taken them out of this horrendous position that De Rossi had them, and positioned them into European qualifier spots. So I think Roma has what it takes to make that push. Not only that, but the guy who was historical for them, the manager before then, for last season, he became, I believe, sporting director, and they brought in the Atalanta manager, Giampiero Gasperini, man. Oh my goodness. And yes, you do need a lot of time with the manager to learn their tactics, to learn their playing style. But Giampiero Gasperini played in the set. I mean, coached in the Serie A with Atalanta for damn near a decade. So it really, he fits the Serie A mold. He fits. He knows how the team plays. He knows every single thing about pretty much every single team. It's a great, incredibly good appointment by the Roma. And I really think this is going to be the time for them to push up and be back into those Champions League spots where I believe they belong. Now, in fourth place, I have Juventus. Juventus, who actually made it into the Champions League once again this season. It's kind of crazy that I am saying how Roma is going to leapfrog Juventus, because Juventus, to keep it a buck, have incredible amounts of talent. They have Yildiz, they have close it, they have Yildiz, they have, anyways, they have talent. They're a really good team. But they brought in a manager who I believe he is a young manager. He's not starting, but he doesn't have the expertise of a Giampiero Gasperini. So it's I don't see them dropping up below Champions League. I don't think there is a team that rivals them to win the champion, to enter to those Champions League spots. Maybe Atalanta, but they lost the manager who they had been working for, as I said, damn near the decade. So it's gonna be very difficult for them to readapt to a new manager, to readapt to a form of play, and get through that. AC Milan is just, that team is just in turmoil, whether they have Modric or not. They are in a horrendous spot right now. I don't see them making a push. And you have Fiorentina, you have good teams, but I don't think they are able to outcompete a team like Juventus. And Juventus' main issue last season was that they couldn't finish games. They had like 11 draws or something. So if they're able to convert most of those wins into draws, I can think they can comfortably become fourth place into the Champions League, or who knows, they could even be third or second. I don't think they'll be winning the Serie A, but they're definitely gonna be into the Champions League. So I have Juventus there in fourth place. Now we move on to La Liga, and let's keep it simple. I'm a Madrid fan. Real Madrid first place. We made a bunch of signings. I haven't been able to see the preseason games, but based on the Club World Cup, I liked what I saw. I liked what we were building, and at that point in time, we had like a couple weeks working together. At this point, we've had 2 months of Xavi Alonso being able to work with the guys, and I'm hoping that we see a Vinicius Junior who presses, a pressing demon, a pressing monster, a Vinny who we saw when he was a bright star, a bright young star. He still has that. He was that. Now, I'm more concerned about Mbappe. He has never been a pressing demon. But if he wants to play for Real Madrid, for Xavi Alonso has said, you're going to have to work for the team. And I think what he means by that is pressing, is defending, is going after the ball, defending. So I'm hoping both of these guys catch on, because if they can, we have an incredibly lethal team in our hands. And other than that, I think we are still missing a midfielder, but we'll see if Arda Güler is able to adapt well into that role, kind of, and we'll see where Ariel Chouameni is able to play. Camavinga is gonna be back. Maybe he can play there. Chouameni in the back, and maybe we should have gotten a center back, but Militao looked really good. We gotta take care of him a lot, though. We don't want to happen something that happened last season, to where we just absolutely ran him to the ground within a couple weeks and he was done. So, but I think we have the squad and playing ability to really make a push and win this La Liga. Now, in second place, we have Barcelona. There is no logical team to put here. I'm sorry, there's not a single team that comes close to either Real Madrid or Barcelona. Barcelona looked out of this world last season, bar defensively sometimes, but Hansi Flick really had them playing impeccable football with that high line. Now, the thing is, they are going to be missing a center back, and as far as I know, they haven't brought in any center backs. They have brought in Rashford, but my gosh, Inigo Martinez, he was old, but he knew what he was doing, and he was really there to help Cubarsí maintain that high line. So I really do not know how this Barcelona team is gonna do, but I do know they're not gonna do worse than Atletico Madrid. That's why I have them in second place. Now, in third place, Atletico Madrid. These guys, I'm sorry, man, they are not Barca Madrid level, and they are not, with all due respect, Athletic Club. They're not Villarreal. They're just a mediocre team. Simeone himself says it all the time, that they are mediocre. They're never competing for the league. This team is super mediocre. Okay, I have to say it twice, 3 times. Mediocre team. They are not going to win this league unless Barca and Madrid have an absolute howler of a season. So, Atletico Madrid just lives in third place. And that's where they're going to stay. No matter the signings, as long as Simeone is still there, they're going to be a third place team, a mediocre team. And props to him, last season it seemed like he was trying to change his way of style, But Atletico Madrid is not a team for a manager to explore his new identity and change his tactics. Atletico Madrid should be a club win now or go home, and they're not. They're just a third place team. So that's where I have them. Now in fourth place, I have Real Betis. I think they closed out very well towards the end of the season. For about 2/3 of the season, they were really inconsistent, and ultimately that's what they were. It was their detriment to not reaching into a Champions League spot. But I think they are going to be able to come back and take in that Champions League. The Serie A, I mean La Liga is probably going to be one of the teams that's going to get an extra spot for the Champions League, this which is why I have Athletic Club in fifth place. They're going to be competing in the Champions League. I don't think they're going to be able to balance those two out. We've seen countless examples of teams throughout the world where they can't handle two of the competitions. As I've said, Stuttgart, teams like RB Leipzig at some points. These teams aren't able to handle it. It's not their faults. They just don't have the squads. They don't. There's so many games for them. So I have them in fifth place, narrowly becoming and being able to be in the Champions League. Now, the best league in the world, the Premier League. This is going to be an extremely difficult, in my opinion, it's going to be one of the best leagues that we have seen of all time. I have Arsenal in first. Why? Because the reality is that I have no idea who is going to win. I really don't. Arsenal, the reason I put them in first is because Liverpool and City are going through massive rebuilds, and Arsenal, all they did is add a striker. Admittedly, last season they played like absolute dog shit, but this season could be their time for Arteta to redeem himself and actually get some juice out of Martin Odegaard, actually help Saka win. And I think it might be the time for Arsenal to take advantage of this time where now they have a striker, they have what supposed to be the finishing piece that they needed. It's time to go for the league. It's now or never, and it's Arteta's last season to try. If he doesn't get it, they should just sack him at that point, or they're going to become another Atletico Madrid. Now, going on to second place, I have Liverpool, who have made incredibly large amount of signings this season, and a lot of money. They've signed Wirtz, they've signed that left back. I always forget his name. Frimpong. They've signed Ekitike. These guys have gone on a signing spree, and they're still looking at Isak to see if they can bring him in. But I think that I was speaking with my friend about this. Shout out to Brian. He told me, yo, man, we are very unbalanced. Because he told me about how Ekitike, you can't expect him to press the way that a Darwin Nunez did or that a Luis Diaz did. You know, and admittedly, that's very true. I don't think he's going to press that same way. And Liverpool depends a lot about that pressing, about that suffocation. So, and he also talked about how Frimpong is more of an attacking winger, if anything, than a right back. So he talked about how dangerous it is on defense for them and how bad it would be on pressing wise. And I concur, man. I agree with him. Wirtz, I think he's quite good at pressing when he needs to, but I don't know about the rest. Salah himself doesn't press, so I think Sloth is not going to be able to make it first place and win the Premier League this season. Let's move on to our third place pick, Manchester City. They also have gone through an insane rebuild. And as I said, man, this is the chance for Arsenal to come back and win this league. They have no excuses once again, like it was last season. And this is their time. City is on the ropes. They're trying to come back, but they had to do a big rebuild, release a lot of players. Liverpool, as we spoke earlier, unbalanced team. I present some problems that are going to be happening there. And other than that, they have a clear run. But yeah, I have City in third place. And in fourth place, probably a dark horse run who could ruin the party for Arsenal in Chelsea, who showed an incredibly good performance against PSG. And yeah, one game is not it, but I mean, half of the season they showed us that they could compete against Liverpool for at least a sliver of the time. And my gosh, what a performance that they put up against PSG. So I wouldn't even be surprised if Chelsea end up winning the Premier League this season. They are a really solid team. Cole Palmer seems to have regained his form, and that midfield is scary with Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, and if you can get Reece James back, that would be even better. And lastly, in fifth place, you could put Manchester United, Tottenham, Newcastle United, but I put Aston Villa. They are out of the four teams that I believe could make it into this fifth place spot. I believe they're the strongest one. Why? Because they have their backbone. They have their best players. They don't have to sell anybody, as far as I know. While the other ones, United is going through a massive rebuild, same as Tottenham, and honestly, same as Newcastle. They have massive turmoil. They're not able to bring in many players, so it's kind of, those other teams are in a shit show. Aston Villa, they're just cruising right now. You haven't heard any drama from them. The same manager, they are just cruising. So I think Aston Villa are going to be able to pull through into the Champions League fifth place spot. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, drop a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video that I'll be making.